To shout out Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market, because guys, they're just now leveling up. They now got parlays, and now when you use my promo code Dave, you can get a 20% deposit match up to $100. That means deposit $500 and get an extra $100 automatically put in your account. They're now offering parlays, which is awesome. And like I said, you're going to get the best odds on the market because it's peer-to-peer sports predictions. So go ahead, sign up, start betting smarter, and use Profit X. All right. All right, guys. I'm pumped about this news. This is a little late of a reaction, but here's the deal. I remember all these Alabama Crimson Tide people that came in my mentions and my comments about a month ago saying, oh, this is ridiculous. He would never consider CU over Alabama. He's going to Alabama. Dude, Colorado has no business going after the same guys that Alabama is recruiting. For some reason, they still think that this is the Alabama that is run by Nick Saban. It is not. They're just like any other SEC team now. Sorry, y'all. Alexander Ward visited with his brother Christian Ward, who's in the class of 2026 as a wide receiver at IMG, and ended up committing to Colorado. So he's going to be here in January. And what do we see that happened, just a few days ago? Alexander Ward, you know what? He decommitted. He said, sorry, Bama. I don't want you. I don't trust you. I love it. And I got to give a shout out to your local area Taco Bell's on this, because guys, they're supporting CU Athletics, CU NIL. This is real NIL. Please go pick up a Buffs box soon at your local Taco Bell's there in the Front Range area. Every touchdown scored, they're putting $1,000 towards CU Athletic scholarships. They're great, and they're one of the reasons our collective is starting to grow, right? And now we're developing that IMG pipeline, baby. So Alexander Ward, he's a 4-star athlete. He plays wide receiver. He plays DB. I think he only had like 1 or 2 highlights so far that he's posted on Huddle, but we'll go ahead and watch these again, and you guys can kind of see the tremendous athlete that Alexander Ward is. But he is a guy that can play both ways, and similar to a guy like Travis Hunter, might add. So let me go ahead, and my computer's like freezing up right now. Okay, here we go. We're good. Smash that like. Y'all let me know your thoughts in the comments. And buddy, you're only here until you say something negative. So yeah, I'm just not having it this week. Not having it this week. Cam Duncan saying, I knew this kid was probably coming. Yeah. A big-time playmaker. And his sophomore year, I believe he was in Marietta, Georgia. So this is where you'll see his highlights from. Here again, playing wide receiver, playing DB, was incredibly productive there in Georgia. But, of course, coming out to IMG to finish off his high school career there. And you can see tremendous speed. He's over 6'1" right now. And he could be a little bit taller as well, which is fun, which is awesome. And I think he's a pretty smooth route runner. Let me go ahead and read off some of his statistics he recorded last year. As a sophomore, in 7 games in Marietta, Georgia, he caught 9 passes for 152 yards and 2 TDs on offense. He also recorded 18 tackles, 2 tackles for a loss of sack, 1 pass breakup, and 2 interceptions, including pick 6. So seems like he plays more on the defensive side of things, but obviously has the ability to contribute in all 3 phases of the game, as we saw there on offense. Now we're seeing with special teams. And I just think it's funny, man. Sometimes I see in some of these comments, people are always like, man, we don't need this guy. We don't need that. We don't need guys. What have I been preaching this entire season, man? How we really need to start hitting high school really, really hard. And there's only a 4-year, eligibility life for these players at the college level. Like, you always have to be recruiting every position. And I think one position that we've recruited incredibly well has been wide receiver. That's awesome to see. And we need to get better on the defensive end, at defensive back. Let's be real about it. I mean, we brought in some promising transfers over the past couple years, right? DJ McKinney, he played really well as that number two guy opposite of Travis Hunter. He's more so struggled this year. Colton Hood, of course, had a nice year here last year. He's having a good year in Tennessee, which is awesome for him. Sick of hearing about him though. And it just seems like we have not recruited cornerback very highly, like ever since the whole Cormani McLean thing happened. Again, um, that whole recruitment was very last minute. With Coach Prime just taking the job, and if there's one position group that I thought that we'd be able to like get 4 and 5 star guys consistently, it would be corner. And maybe this is the time where it finally starts again, where we're getting these kinds of guys because Alexander Ward, he can already see the path. If he wants to play both ways at the college level, we can accommodate that and we can do it. And we've shown that you can win the Heisman in Colorado playing both ways for sure. Shout out to Travis Hunter, by the way. I saw today that he's the number 1 graded cover corner on the Jaguars so far this year. That's awesome to see. Now they just need to figure out how to get him the ball. You see here in press, I mean, he is just on that guy like a blanket. I mean, that guy had no shot. So, yeah, I would think that he right now, if there's one position I would play him at, yeah, it's got to be DB. Absolutely DB. And with right now, again, he's class of 27, so it could be the room could change quite a bit this spring, which I hope it does, but it could still be wide open for him to come and get early playing time, like as a true freshman. And now that the family connection is here with Christian Ward going to be here as a wide receiver in January for next year, yeah, I think that the momentum is going to skew in Coach Prime in Colorado's favor on locking up his commitment. There's one thing that we've done, or a few things that we've done really well, and one of them has been recruiting brothers, whether that's been from the high school ranks or the transfer portal. Man, we can get twins, we can get brothers, we can get cousins. So yeah, bring him here, have him work with. We need a new cornerback coach, right? We don't want him working with Kevin Mathis. I'm sure he knows that. Hopefully, we can bring in somebody with some NFL experience or just, yeah, somebody who's just better at coaching these corners than Kevin Mathis is. That's something that I do want to see. But we got Noah King, who is a promising 4-star corner that's here as a true freshman. Hopefully, we'll be able to see him start to get on the field here in the second half of this season now, coming out of the bye. But imagine him in a couple years here helping lead this secondary. And then you got a guy like Alexander Ward that's, playing, cleaning up the scraps, so to speak. He can be that second, third corner, come in for spot duty with hopefully building out a really, really strong secondary alongside, like I said, Noah King. How about TJ Branch, baby? I know there's been some talk about TJ Branch. Where's TJ Branch? Hopefully we see him on the field this week, man. So, yeah, y'all let me know your thoughts on this. Again, if you need one more refresher, Christian Ward committed here just a few weeks ago on September 6th, 5th, 10th. Man, I can't remember. 24th. 6'3", 200-pound wide receiver. So his older brother is going to be here. After he commits, Christian Ward does, to Colorado, we see a few weeks later, Alexander Ward says, you know what? Forget Alabama. All right. We'll see. Yeah, buddy, you do anything for attention, don't you? B. Schwavy, is he a wide receiver or cornerback? He's definitely more of a cornerback right now, but he did put up some tremendous stats and limited playing time at the wide receiver position last year. And I think he's playing, I think he's playing mainly DB at IMG too. So that's going to be something to just keep an eye on to see if they integrate him more. I haven't been able to find any stats for him yet for his junior year here at IMG. Again, this is all footage that you'll see from Marietta, Georgia. But I think he's got some like natural route running. I think he's very quick coming out of his breaks. And yeah, I mean, you can't help to see shades of Travis Hunter, in this highlight film a little bit. I like the I like the attitude that he plays with, and I like the fact that he makes a lot of big plays. We can go ahead and take a look at the few IMG highlights that he has published, and then we'll wrap this thing up. All right. Oh, got him listed as a wide receiver right here. So this is going to be interesting. Okay, running over that guy. You like to see that. And that's it. I still think, man, he needs to be playing corner. And he still does have himself listed as a junior wide receiver and cornerback. So on his huddle profile. So that's something that we need to see. Is some cornerback stuff too. I think that would be great. Oh, I guess he was at Carrollton, Georgia, his freshman year. Makes sense. So he knows Juju Lewis as well. That's right. Christian Ward knows Julian Lewis as well from his time, Carrollton as well. I know now, like these high school players, they just go all over the place. So, man, we'll see, buddy. We'll see. But you're lucky today. I didn't put you in timeout because it's a shorter stream. So I'll be back tomorrow to talk a little bit more Utah and Colorado. I'm pumped for this game. Shout out to Chidozie Wonkwo being back with the team and putting this defensive line, man, on notice that they need to step it up. And you know what? They need to let their nuts hang against Utah this week if we're going to have a chance of an upset, man. We need that line to play their best game of the season so far. So I'll see you guys later. I need to shout out Profit X, America's #1 sports prediction market, because, guys, they're just now leveling up. They now got parlays, and now when you use my promo code Dave, you can get a 20% deposit match up to $100. That means deposit $500 and get an extra $100 automatically put in your account. They're now offering parlays, which is awesome. And like I said, you're going to get the best odds on the market because it's peer-to-peer sports predictions. So go ahead, sign up, start betting smarter, and use Profit X.